All right, take two. It would appear that I accidentally stopped the live stream when I was trying to turn the, not trying to, when I was turning the sound off. So we'll start again. It's Saturday, July the 20th at 7:20 a.m. I've ridden 27 kilometres and thank you for watching this live stream. I didn't do any live streams last weekend as I was emotionally detoxing and in a state of heavy contemplation, and additionally the wind was not conducive. So last weekend I just rode the bike but didn't do any live streams. Linda and Jackie, thank you for watching. This will work better this time. I won't accidentally stop the live stream as I'm riding. So I have a huge long title on this live stream. Have you had enough of being an expert at attracting emotionally unavailable partners? Now, some of us are, where to start with this? Where to start? Some of us, Feely, thank you for watching. Some of us are expert at attracting emotionally unavailable partners. And we can go through so much of our life not even aware of this wonderful ability that we have. One of the reasons that we're not aware of it is, Jean, thank you for watching, is because if we're an expert at attracting emotionally unavailable partners, we also may be an expert at throwing the blame on attracting these emotionally unavailable people. Good morning, Philly. On them, and therefore not taking any ownership of our own responsibility in energetic attraction. So the idea of this video is or this live stream is to explain what happens, why it happens, and what you can do about it. So what happens for a lot of people is that we attract certain energetic patterns into our life. And if we're contemplative, if we're observant, if we spend time, yes, a bit chilly, Jean, it's 12 degrees, probably cooler where you are actually. 12.4 here at the moment. It's gotten cooler, great. If we're contemplative enough, and if we're wise enough, and if we've had enough of being in situations where our connection is not working, and it's not what we feel is a healthy reciprocation, we might just take the time to analyze why that is happening. And to do this, we need to be brutally honest with ourselves, because in soul searching, we've actually got to come back to understanding where energy emanates from and why people come into our lives. There's nothing random about it. It is perfectly planned. Whether we understand it or not is irrelevant, but it is perfectly planned that we energetically attract people that are a perfect reflection of what we need and of who we are. And this is very, very important. So step one in just looking at this particular topic is realizing that if we're expert at attracting, I'm having difficulty with words this morning, I haven't had a lot of sleep. If we're expert at attracting emotionally unavailable people, it is relating back to us, because the common denominator is that we continue to do that. Now, we make no forward movement, no progress in our understanding or in our spiritual growth if we just throw blame at people and say things like, well, you know, everyone is like that, or, you know, you just can't, people just won't commit, or, you know, whatever the excuse is that we use for not taking ownership of the energy that we are radiating. So if we become expert at attracting emotionally unavailable people, we need to realize that what we are seeing is a perfect reflection of who we are, where we're at, and the universe saying, open your eyes, look right in front of you, because the person that's in front of you is a mirror of you. And that is vitally important to understand that, so that we can learn and grow. I mean, it's okay with me if you want to keep attracting emotionally unavailable people, but there comes a point in time where it doesn't make for satisfying, connected relationships. And the reasons for why we do these things are always so simple that we overlook them, and it always comes back to love. But just getting back to the universe saying to us, I am giving you a perfect reflection of who you are and where you're at and what you need to learn your lesson. So if you think that love is unfair, if you think that life is unfair, if you think that the things happening in your life you don't deserve, this is not correct. It's on the contrary, it's the opposite. We deserve everything happening with us, happening to us, and what we have is the ability to choose our perspective, our responsibility as to whether we think we're a victim or whether we can choose growth from this situation. So you get a person that is putting out, let's talk about ourselves. So let's say I'm putting out a certain energy, and I'm going to describe what that energy is in a moment. This energy, I can't see it, I may not be aware of it, but I might have an uncanny knack of going into a room full of people and being attracted to a certain type of person. Not necessarily because of the way they look, not necessarily because of physical symptoms, if symptoms is the right word, but because there is something that we find attractive about them, what we might call an indecisive quality. Then we might just go, wow, there's something very, very attractive about this person. So that indecisive quality that we can't put our finger on is the energetic reflection of ourselves. I am looking for a path that takes me out of here and I think I'll just turn around because that'll be the easiest, I think. So if we are a person who has a subconscious programming, a subconscious conditioning, a subconscious belief system that we may or may not be aware of, it's most likely we're not aware of it. If we have a subconscious belief system of emotional lack, if locked into our subconscious is a recurring pattern that is basically saying, I am shit scared of getting close to someone, for whatever the reason is. We may have felt as a child unloved by our parents. As an adult, we can reassess that situation and forgive our parents and realize our parents were doing the best they could at the time, and they were probably just as lost as we were as a child. So we can take them off the hook. We can forgive them and drop the energetic hatred that we have towards our parents that keeps us in a situation of emotional binding. And that situation of emotional binding creates an energetic pattern around this belief system that will perfectly match where we're at. So we have an amazing opportunity when we attract emotionally unavailable people, when we have this incredible gift, or should I say curse, of being able to talk to a group of people but only find a certain type of person attractive because that person matches our frequency. That person is radiating the same energetic hurt, the same fear. That person is you reflected. That person is as afraid of getting emotionally close to someone as you are. And why or how do we develop that fear? Because our primary goal in life is love. It is the thing that matters the most above all else. We will go without anything to have love. And our primary opposite of that is that our primary fear is hurt, the feeling of the lack of love. We will do anything to avoid feeling hurt. We will stay in relationships that are unfulfilling, that are emotionally distant, that are abusive. We will stay in these situations simply so we can get the tiniest little feeling of feeling. Let's put it that way. So we can get the tiniest little feeling of feeling. We will put up with so much shit, and I've seen it too many times, and it's really sad when people will do that because their subconscious patterns are keeping them in a certain hold, and because they believe the level of worth of themselves is only so big. So they don't believe they are worthy of more. But there comes a time in our learning, in our wisdom, when we stop and we say, you know what? I'm sick of having people come into my life who have all this promises and who's on the surface, seem to be a fantastic connection, but they can't walk their talk. And when we discover that, we can either blame them, which doesn't change them or change us, or we can look at us and go, who is this person showing me? What has this person come to teach me? And what can I learn from them? And see that you are looking at a mirror. You are actually looking at, you have attracted the same person again and again and again. When you start going back and looking at your significant connections, you will actually see the recurring pattern. With this awareness, you are able to go, haha, there is something going on here. There is an energetic attractiveness that I'm not happy with, that I'd like to do something about. And so we may not be able to access the subconscious patterning that is attracting this lack, but the universe, in its infinite wisdom and kindness, has given us this mirror right in front of us to show us where we're at and to give us the opportunity to do something about it by aiming for something different. Now, that may be a great intention of ours to do that, and it may still not work because the subconscious programming is so strong that you will then think that you have moved on and yet still attract someone who initially on the surface seems, to fit into the category that you're looking for, and then down the track you discover that, again, the depth of connection is not there, that they are emotionally unavailable. Now, interestingly, should you actually attract someone who is emotionally available, should you actually bring someone into your life who actually has good intentions, who actually themselves has reached a point of inner understanding and wisdom, should you bring someone like that into your life, but you're still projecting emotional lack, guess what? you will self-sabotage. You will find a way to pull away from what could have been a great connection because you are afraid of getting close. You do not want to feel hurt and pain again. It's your biggest fear. So you will actually say, this can't be, this is too good to be true, somebody might say. Or, a classic example was a girl I was going out with for 4 years. And, she came from a situation that wasn't particularly great for her. We had a great connection, and it was a great connection that others around us observed, and they said things. People said things like, you're really perfect for each other, and so there was a really nice connection there. And for 4 years, she was able to handle that until the subconscious programming overrode that, and she decided that she couldn't handle. She wasn't worthy of that sort of relationship. And so she actually did an incredible U-turn. This is years and years and years ago. And went off and chose, just dropped me at a moment's notice, went off and chose a guy who was, a heavy, like the opposite of a healthy person. Heavy smoker, anger issues, and just, personal hygiene issues. And in that particular situation, all of us, myself, I was devastated, and my friends were all like, what the hell is she doing? People, actually said to her, what are you doing? I didn't realize it at the time myself. I was in I was in too much emotional pain to see what was going on. But in hindsight, I can see what she was doing. She didn't believe she deserved a healthy, happy relationship. So she became attracted to someone who would provide her with exactly what she believed she deserved, which was emotionally unavailable, angry, controlling partner that she could not get close to. A lot of people, I'm going to say a lot of women, but a lot of people do this, guys and girls. Philly's got a comment there. She says, you make so much sense, Harry, because I'm in that situation at the moment. I'm sorry to hear that, Philly, but hopefully you can take some nuggets of wisdom from this and dwell upon it. I guess that, I'll start wrapping up now, but because I've got the main point of the message across, but I do want to add in there advice on how do we actually shift. If we're not aware of our subconscious patterns, or if they're nearly impossible to do anything about, what do we do? Well, the good news is that we can actually attack it from a perspective of spiritual wisdom and understand that our worth is not dependent on anything. It comes from that perspective of understanding that universally we are unconditionally loved, and we can understand that our worth is not dependent on who we are, on our achievements, who we have in our life, anything like that, because we are a child of the universe. Because we are the universe's child, the universe loves us unconditionally. So that's one thing that you can take a bit of surrender in, take a bit of shelter in, I guess you could say. And Linda says, crazy, isn't it? We get addicted to the rush of insecurity. Yeah, it does seem crazy, Linda, and for years I used to wonder why we would get addicted to that, until I realized that what we're seeing in the other person is a perfect reflection of ourselves. We actually get incredibly attracted to an energetic reflection of ourselves. And, It's really amazing how beautiful the process is when you take out all the emotional pain, how beautiful the process is of seeing how it works energetically, that we are being presented with the answer right in front of us to the question that we didn't even know we had to ask. It's just dwell on that one. But it's really so to move beyond this repeated patterning, there are different things that we can do. I hope you can still get me reception through this tunnel. Me reception? Geez, that sounds like good England. Still get my reception. Anyway. Mantra meditation is so easy, and these are things that actually shift our understanding of our worth and what we will and won't accept in our life. I've met a lot of people, I still know people who put up with so much shit in their life because they think that's all worth. That goes deep for most of us. And so will be filming a more, I guess, detailed or better described video that that covers this topic. My intention is to film that this morning in between other activities and do a more professional presentation. So hopefully I can get that done and edited over the weekend and put out. So Jean says I'm breaking up. That would be going through the tunnel. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope that you can just pick up some interesting little nuggets, as I said, and feel free to comment further. And have a great day and live vegan and save lives. Ahimsa.